G'day, Starlo here. You know, taking the dog for a walk in the morning is not only good exercise, lets me check out what's happening down here at the entrance of the estuary system that I live on. And this morning, I spotted a solid school of fish here in the entrance. I reckon they're big Australian salmon. So I've gone home, thrown the boat in the water, and I've come shooting out. My last trip was actually a bass trip. So I'm rigged up with a bait caster and one of these whopper plopper surface lures. Let's see if these salmon will play. They look a bit lazy. It looks like they're just laying up. Oh, one just jumped there behind me. And they're just sort of resting here, probably waiting for the tide to turn and start to come in so that they can shoot up the estuary. Let's see if they'll have a crack at this whopper plopper surface lure. Clearly I'm not the only one who's awake up to these salmon. They've attracted the attention of some other interested parties as well. Very satisfied looking seals. Full tummies. They're only half grown ones. They'd be loving this. See you guys, I'm going fishing. I leave the satisfied seals to their sunbathing and head back out to where I can see the dark smudge of fish holding on the edge of the deeper channel. The tide's absolutely ripping out, so I'm really glad I've got my Motor Guide electric and that my battery's fully charged. Now, will these fish bite? Oh, that breeze is much stiffer than it looks. That wasn't a long enough cast. Let's get upwind from them a little bit if we can. The odd salmon's flopping on the surface, but they're obviously not feeding. Instead, they're just holding in the current, waiting. This could be rather tricky. I'll try a different angle on them and also a bit more speed in the retrieve. Oh, yes, they're chasing it, They're not very switched on. Oh, yes, got him! Woohoo! Oh boy, how good is that on the surface lure? Oh, the old whopper plopper. Oh, they're big salmon too. Wow. Oh, despite the wind, I think I might have to drag the fly rod out in a minute. Oh, strong fish. Look at this thing go. Ooh. Oh, really solid salmon. I might just put the anchor function on. I'm not mucking around here. I've got 15-pound braid on this baitcaster gear and plenty of drag. I'll include the full details of the outfit that I'm using in the description and comments below for those who are interested. Oh, strong fish down there in that current. Here he comes, he's gonna jump. Oh, fantastic. Woo! What a performer. Oh, they're really solid salmon. I'll keep one or two of these for the smoker. Always fun when you're on your own trying to net a decent fish, especially in this current. Oh, he just threw up a really big bait fish, maybe a mullet. It was like 110 millimeters long, the bait fish he threw up, so no wonder he was pretty happy to hit that big surface lure. So hard on this current. Just sort of got to get him in front of the net and then back the pressure off. Oh, that didn't work. This is really tricky. Right, I think I'll kill the anchor function. Just let us drop back a bit. That'll take the pressure off the current a little bit. Woo! Got him in. Hit anchor again. Let's have a look at how big you are, mate. Oh, yes. A couple of kilos, probably 2.5 kilos. Now, normally I wouldn't put my finger in their gills if I was going to let them go, but I'm going to keep this one. Look at that. He's absolutely creamed that whopper plopper. There we go. Whew, not a particularly fat one, but boy, oh boy, that bait fish that he threw up was a cracker. All right, get him in the live well. I haven't even had time to put any water in the live well yet. With one on board for the smoker, I'm keen to see if I can pin a couple more of these lovely salmon. Oh, every now and again one just throws itself out of the water. They're certainly not feeding at the moment, they're just lying up here. As I said, probably waiting for that tide to turn. We're nearly on the bottom of the tide now. It'll slow in the next 45 minutes or so, I'd say, and then turn. And then I reckon these fish will go shooting up into the estuary. There's a load of mullet up in there at the moment, and I reckon that's what they're after. Oh wow, that's a solid mass of fish. I've come right up onto the sandbar here to sneak up alongside them. There's quite a stiff sou'easter blowing. It's probably 10 or 11 knots, gusting to 13 to 15 every now and again. So it's not a lot of fun punching into that with a bait caster. So I'm actually going to sneak up alongside them and use the wind to my advantage. I reckon there might be a patch of them out there on the flats as well. There's another dark shape. All right, we're getting in a good position now for a cast. I'll just go a little bit further. I don't want to spook them. Slow us down. All right, I've killed the motor guide. What I'll do in a second is just hit that anchor switch to hold us there. Let's lob a cast out and see what happens. They're either going to be all over it or they're going to ignore it. I'm not entirely sure which. Oh, one just had a look. They're not fired up, but every now and again it looks like one will come up and have a look. See if we can convince them to have a bite. I'm sure a subsurface lure would be even better, but I just love the visual aspect of a surface strike. But they're not keen to hit. No. They're going to be tricky, I think. I've got the fly rod there as well, which would be fun, although this wind won't be fun. Oh, every now and again, as I said, one just comes up and free jumps. I'll try where one just jumped, see if that means they're more active in that area. Oh yes, one had a go. That might be the trick, throw where one's just jumped. Let's move up a little bit further and try the head of the school. See if those are the more active fish. I've got my Mako polarised sunglasses on so I can see the dark smudge really clearly. I'm not sure if you'll see it quite as clearly. There's a lot of fish there. Look, don't want to go over the top of them and spook them. That was definitely another school that had gone out on the flats up here, and it's coming back across to rejoin the main school now. They might be more active fish. They might have been out having a bit of a hunt. So let's try that. They've rejoined. Oh, there's some big ones in there. They are big salmon. Really solid fish. All right, I'm going to try the fly. After that first quick one on the surface lure, they just seem to be not playing the game. I've got a Game Changer fly on here and a very long leader. So I was targeting flathead the other day, but we'll see how it goes. I'm using my 11-foot 5-weight Loomis switch rod. I love it for this job. floating line, long leader, which is how I like to target flathead. It should work all right on these guys as well. I'll let it sink down into the school a little bit. Try as I might, I just couldn't convince a salmon to eat my fly. No, they're really not in the mood. Let's try up here in the head of the school. Eventually I had to admit defeat and move on to try something else. But it had certainly been an interesting few minutes to kick off my day on the water, and proof of the importance of keeping your eyes peeled at all times for signs of fish. Anyway, until next time, this is Starlo wishing you tight lines.